The San Francisco 49ers are clearly shifting gears when it comes to how they handle their football operations, especially around contract negotiations with their core players. For years, under the leadership of Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and Jed York, the team stuck to a pattern that often proved costly and distracting. They waited until the last possible moment, usually during or right before training camp, to lock down key contract extensions. This slow approach not only created unnecessary drama and uncertainty, but also ended up costing the organization millions of dollars. Looking back at the past few seasons, this tendency to delay was a consistent theme. Take George Kittle, for instance. Despite being one of the franchise's foundational players, he didn't sign his contract extension until well into training camp, sometime in August. Similarly, Fred Warner waited until late July of 2021 to finalize his deal, and while his process was smoother, the timing was still late. Deebo Samuel's contract negotiations sparked significant social media attention and some drama, with a wide receiver holding out and pushing the timeline right up to training camp, which caused a lot of noise around the team. Nick Bosa, though free of drama, didn't sign his record-breaking contract until just days before the season opener in Week 1 of the 2023 campaign. Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams also followed the same late signing pattern, getting their deals done mere days before the start of the regular season. This wait-and-see approach comes with some serious drawbacks. The most glaring issue is financial. By holding off, the 49ers often find themselves paying a premium because the market resets and prices rise. For example, had the team signed Ayuk earlier last offseason, they might have locked him in for roughly $25 million per year. However, by waiting, the wide receiver's value jumped to around $30 million annually as the market adjusted and other wide receivers secured massive contracts. Signing players early can sometimes allow teams to pay only 60 or 70% of what those players might command if negotiations are left until the last minute. This strategy is one that teams like the Philadelphia Eagles have mastered, constantly working to get deals done early and thus keeping the focus on football rather than financial distractions. The problem with late signings isn't only about the money, though. It also directly affects the player's physical and mental readiness. When contract talks drag on, it pulls attention away from training and preparation. Players like Ayuk arrived at camp looking heavier than usual. Deebo Samuel was noticeably out of shape, and even Nick Bosa seemed just a fraction off his usual conditioning, which contributed to a sack drought at the start of the 2023 season. When players are caught up in contract negotiations instead of focusing solely on getting reps, mastering playbooks, and fine-tuning their timing and precision, the entire team suffers. Practices lose quality, chemistry takes a hit, and coaches can't work as effectively on the finer points of their schemes. All of this noise and uncertainty inside the locker room is detrimental to any team's goals. Whether you're running a football organization or any other business, minimizing distractions and controlling what's within your power are essential for success. Unfortunately, the 49ers allowed these contract sagas to drag deep into training camps for years, creating an unhealthy environment filled with rumors and back-and-forth reports. Starters weren't always available, practices weren't as sharp as they could be, and the focus was diverted from the field. This kind of turmoil affects not just the business side of football, but the performance on the gridiron as well. However, a shift appears to be underway. The 49ers have begun to learn from other organizations, like the Eagles, who prioritize getting contracts done early. This change was first evident with DeMornay Pearsonell's extension last season, signed well ahead of free agency and during a difficult year for the team. Instead of waiting and risking losing him or facing a drastically higher price, the 49ers acted decisively and proactively. Since then, the team has continued down this new path, locking up key players earlier and steering clear of the costly and distracting drama that has plagued them for years. Following Pearsonell's deal, the 49ers quickly moved to secure George Kittle shortly after the NFL draft. They gave him a contract with an average annual value just over $19 million, which, while a raise, was still a strategic move to get ahead of the rising tight end market. The tight end position has become a bit of a bargain compared to wide receivers, who are now commanding contracts in the range of $30 to $40 million per year. By signing Kittle early, the team avoided the risk of him demanding even more after another monster season, and they protected themselves from the inflation of the market. Alongside Kittle, Brock Purdy also received an extension that reflects the 49ers' new approach to managing their salary cap and roster. Instead of waiting until the last minute or risking having to pay a much higher price due to Purdy's strong performances, the team locked him in for a fair value. This move not only saves money in the long term, but also provides stability for the quarterback position, allowing the offense to build continuity without uncertainty. This strategy of early renewals signals a smarter way of doing business, one that respects the value of the players, protects the team's financial health, and keeps the focus where it belongs, on football. If the 49ers had waited, Brock Purdy's contract might have ballooned to an average annual value of $60 million or more after a breakout season. By acting early, they avoided that risk. There are always counterarguments to this approach. What if Purdy underperforms or gets injured? But in the NFL, where schedules can be favorable and management wants to control what they can, betting on consistency and locking players in ahead of market shifts is often the smarter bet. Fred Warner's extension is another prime example. The linebacker received a 3-year deal worth $63 million total, with $56 million guaranteed and an average annual value of $21 million. Warner still had 2 years left on his previous contract, and if the 49ers had waited, his price could have risen to $22 or even $25 million per year as the NFL salary cap continues to climb. Signing Warner early ensures that the team keeps one of its defensive pillars happy and focused on football, rather than worrying about money during the season. It also sends a message to the rest of the roster. The organization values its leaders and wants to reward them promptly. Maintaining a stable core is critical for the 49ers. Keeping these key contributors content and committed both on and off the field helps avoid distractions and discontent, allowing them to lead the team effectively. Warner, Kittle, Purdy, and Pearsonell represent the foundation upon which the franchise is building its future, and the new contract approach makes sure these players feel secure and appreciated. This trend of early deals also impacts perception of the 49ers around the league. Players notice when an organization handles business professionally and efficiently, creating an environment where they want to stay and compete. The changes are already visible, and the early signs show that this fresh approach could pay dividends not just in financial savings, but in on-field success as well. By avoiding the pitfalls of last-minute contract dramas, the 49ers are positioning themselves for sustained competitiveness. This new philosophy reflects a deeper understanding of how to balance business with sport, ensuring that the team can build and maintain a winning culture free from unnecessary distractions. With the foundation of these new contracts laid and the core players secured, the 49ers are entering a new chapter. The shift in mindset may well prove to be the catalyst that allows them to push past the obstacles of the past and focus fully on what matters most, competing at the highest level and contending for championships year after year. Building on this new approach to contract management, the 49ers continued their proactive strategy by signing Fred Warner on May 19, 2025, just days after securing other key pieces. Warner's deal, a 3-year contract worth $63 million with $56 million guaranteed, stands as a testament to the team's commitment to locking down their defensive cornerstone before the market could shift. With the NFL salary cap rising steadily, waiting could have pushed Warner's value even higher, forcing the team to pay significantly more or risk losing him to another franchise. By acting swiftly, the 49ers not only secure his services, but also maintain the stability that is essential for building a championship-caliber defense. This pattern of early signings signals a sharp departure from the past, where last-minute contract negotiations distracted players and staff alike. The previous approach saw stars arriving to training camp amid contract disputes, affecting their conditioning and focus. Now, with Warner's deal in place well before the start of training activities, the linebacker can fully concentrate on his preparation, and the team can operate with a clear plan for the season ahead. This kind of foresight helps to eliminate distractions and build a sense of trust and security within the locker room, which is invaluable for a team aiming for sustained success. In addition to Warner, the 49ers also moved quickly to extend George Kittle's contract shortly after the NFL draft. This was a crucial step, considering Kittle's importance both on and off the field. By offering him an average annual value slightly above $19 million, the team positioned itself to avoid the inflated market prices that could have emerged had they waited. Tight ends in the league have become an undervalued asset compared to wide receivers, whose contracts now often reach $30 to $40 million per year. Getting ahead of this curve with Kittle is a clear example of smart management, one that benefits both player and organization. The quarterback position has also seen a major boost with Brock Purdy's extension, locking down the young signal caller who has quickly become the face of the franchise. By securing Purdy's contract earlier rather than later, the 49ers have avoided the risk of paying a steep premium if he were to have a breakout season, which seemed increasingly likely. His new deal reflects confidence in his abilities and offers the team a level of financial predictability that is crucial in managing the salary cap effectively. This move is also a message to the rest of the league. The 49ers intend to keep their core intact and avoid unnecessary roster turnover. One of the critical lessons learned from previous seasons is that delaying contract extensions cost the organization not only financially, but also in terms of team chemistry and performance. When players enter training camp uncertain about their futures or bogged down by contract negotiations, their focus inevitably wavers. The conditioning suffers, as seen with players like Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, who arrived out of shape at various points. These distractions reduce the overall quality of practice, limit the reps coaches can allocate to game preparation, and hamper the development of on-field cohesion. The new philosophy of timely extensions helps eliminate these issues, allowing players to dedicate themselves fully to football. Furthermore, by acting early, the 49ers are sending a strong message to their players about the value and respect they hold for their contributions. Keeping key players happy and rewarded is vital not only for performance, but also for maintaining a positive locker room environment. Disgruntled players, or those feeling undervalued, can quickly become distractions or even detractors, but a front office that moves decisively to reward its stars fosters loyalty and motivation. This culture of respect and professionalism is essential for a team aiming to compete at the highest level consistently. The impact of this new contract strategy also extends beyond the 49ers themselves. Across the league, players and agents are watching how organizations manage their payrolls and treat their talent. The 49ers are carving out a reputation as a well-run franchise that balances fiscal responsibility with competitive ambition. In a league marked by uncertainty and frequent roster changes, this stability becomes an attractive selling point for current and prospective players. It positions San Francisco as a destination where careers can thrive and where stars are valued and secured early. Of course, this approach requires careful evaluation and a degree of confidence in players' long-term potential. There are risks involved in committing significant sums before a player's contract expires, particularly in a sport as physically demanding and injury-prone as football. However, the 49ers' recent signings demonstrate a willingness to take calculated risks based on a thorough understanding of player performance, health, and potential. This calculated boldness is part of what separates well-managed organizations from those that merely react to market forces. Looking ahead, the 49ers appear poised to continue this trend, ensuring that contract negotiations become a source of stability rather than stress. By aligning their business decisions with their on-field goals, the franchise is creating an environment where focus remains on football excellence. Players who feel secure and respected can channel their energy into competing, and coaches can craft game plans knowing their key personnel will be present and prepared. As the NFL landscape evolves, with rising salary caps and shifting market dynamics, the ability to manage contracts efficiently and effectively will become even more crucial. The 49ers' early moves this offseason highlight their recognition of this reality and their commitment to adapting accordingly. This forward-thinking approach not only safeguards the team's financial flexibility, but also helps to sustain a culture of winning. The changes already underway serve as a blueprint for other teams struggling with similar issues. Instead of enduring drawn-out negotiations and distractions, the 49ers show that it is possible to get ahead of the curve and build a roster that is both talented and cohesive. This method fosters an environment where players can perform at their best, unburdened by contract drama, and where the front office can focus on assembling complementary pieces to support the core. This renewed focus on early extensions and smart financial planning marks a significant evolution for the San Francisco 49ers. It reflects a deep understanding that success in today's NFL is about more than just talent on the field. It's about strategic business decisions that create the conditions for that talent to thrive. By committing to this philosophy, the 49ers set themselves up not only for immediate competitiveness, but also for long-term stability and success. In short, the shift away from last-minute contract signings to proactive extensions is a game-changer for the franchise. It mitigates financial risk, reduces distractions, and strengthens team unity. As the 49ers move forward with this approach, fans and analysts alike should expect a more focused, cohesive team ready to compete at the highest level year after year. This strategy could well be the key ingredient that propels San Francisco back into consistent contention and ultimately championship glory. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A swirling rumor has captured the attention of NFL fans and analysts alike. Brock Purdy, the promising quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, might have suffered an injury. While official statements from the team have yet to confirm the details, whispers around the league suggest that Purdy's health could be in jeopardy, raising serious concerns about the 49ers' offensive future. Brock Purdy, who emerged as a surprising star during the previous NFL season, quickly became a fan favorite due to his poise, precision, and leadership on the field. Drafted as the last pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, Purdy defied expectations by stepping up during critical moments and guiding the 49ers to multiple victories. His ability to read defenses and execute under pressure was a key factor in the team's offensive success, making him an integral part of the 49ers' championship aspirations. The news of a potential injury comes at a delicate time for the team. With the season in full swing, the 49ers rely heavily on Purdy's performance to maintain their competitive edge. If the rumors are true, the coaching staff will have to quickly adjust their strategy, possibly turning to backup quarterbacks who have had limited playtime this year. This situation could significantly alter the team's dynamics, forcing them to adapt on the fly against some of the toughest defenses in the league. While details remain scarce, fans and experts alike are speculating about the nature of Purdy's injury and the possible impact on his playing timeline. Injuries to quarterbacks can range from minor setbacks to season-ending situations, and the uncertainty surrounding Purdy's condition adds a layer of tension to the 49ers' upcoming games. The team's medical staff is likely conducting thorough evaluations to determine the best course of action, balancing Purdy's health and the team's immediate needs. This development has also sparked a wider conversation about the physical toll on NFL players, especially quarterbacks who often face relentless pressure and hits from opposing defenses. Purdy's rumored injury highlights the ongoing challenges athletes endure in such a high-contact sport, where durability is as crucial as skill. San Francisco 49ers fans are understandably anxious but hopeful. Many are awaiting official updates and remain optimistic that Purdy will recover swiftly and return to the field stronger than ever. Meanwhile, the media is closely monitoring the situation, ready to report on any new information that could shape the 49ers' trajectory this season. In the world of professional football, every game counts, and the health of key players can make or break a team's chances. Brock Purdy's rumored injury reminds us of the fragile nature of athletic careers and the unpredictable twists that define the NFL. As the story unfolds, all eyes will remain on Purdy and the 49ers, hoping for positive news and a continued display of resilience on the gridiron. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.